The new Will Farrell movie Semi-Pro opens across the country this weekend. It's a fictionalized look at a semi-pro basketball team trying to join the NBA. Will Farrell is a coach, player, and owner of a team called the Flint, Michigan Tropics. Well, in reality, Flint is a huge basketball town, and in 1972 they had a real-life semi-pro team called the Flint Pros. The people who brought the team to Flint were Mike Ryzik and his family of first-generation Lebanese immigrants. They didn't know a lot about basketball, but they liked the idea of Flint having a hometown team. Here is one of Mike's 6 sons, David, to set the scene.
My dad was from an immigrant family, and on our street, about half the houses were our family, our relatives. My father's brothers, sisters, first cousins, second cousins. We used to get together every Friday and Saturday night, and there were usually 30, 40, sometimes 50 people at my Aunt Helen's house, my dad's sister. They got together to do what they did in the old country, and that was to sit around, drink coffee, smoke tons of cigarettes and cigars, and just talk. It used to be almost like a think tank where they came up with great ideas. They came up with the idea of a pizzeria. They knew an unemployed worker from a local Pizza Hut or something, and they changed his name from Paul to Paulo, and they opened up a pizzeria. It was one thing after another. And so our parents and their first cousins really didn't know much about basketball or sports in general, but they had all normal kids who loved sports. The combination of their entrepreneurial spirit and our love for sports was the seed for the development of this concept of a semi-pro basketball team in Flint. The fans were ecstatic about having this team on the north side of Flint in this sleepy little community. The first several games drew almost 1,500 fans, and the Flint Pros won their first 5 games. And now there was an incredible amount of excitement. There was a player named Wardell Dyson. He was the 1970s version of Shaq. Justice Thigpen was a product of Flint. He was a scoring machine. Probably about the 5th or 6th game into the 72-73 season, the announcer for the Flint Pros was sick and didn't show up. Well, never afraid to try anything, my father said, "I'll do it." When Justice Thigpen would score a basket, he would say something like, "There's Justice." And he would come up with these clever little sayings like, "Dyson to Stevens to Thigpen to basket." And the fans went wild over this. In 1972, Flint, Michigan was really a great place to grow up. But you could see the writing on the wall. The competition in the auto industry was going to start ramping up. You could see unemployment was just beginning to become an issue. And so at a time when Flint was beginning its decline, the Flint Pros was a reason for hope and a reason to be happy. It really did take your mind off the financial woes of the county. You know, after the first season, they believed that there was still something magic about this team. Now, they lost about $13,000 on the team after the team's wages were paid, the fee to the league was paid. So they figured they would move it downtown to the IMA auditorium. And then in the first third of the season, they lost $12,000. After the December 2nd game, which only drew about 177 fans, the Pros decided to fold. And for my family, the end of the Pros was very heartbreaking. It was something that we just absolutely loved. But being true to form, I don't think it was 6 more months and my father had another scheme up his sleeve. I think it was not long after the Pros that he came up with the idea of starting a local Catholic church called Our Lady of Lebanon. And out of that kitchen at my Aunt Helen's house, a Lebanese Catholic church was born in Flint, and it still is a thriving Catholic community today.
Dr. Reisig hasn't seen Semi-Pro yet. He says he's looking forward to seeing the movie that features the fictionalized team, the Flint Tropics.